Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the fuck it is?
Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut cocaine. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Fuck being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Subscribe, we lit.
There's levels to this shit. Before you was sucking on your mama's tit.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism,
Sexism.
Much love to my loyal bitch bag holders.
Rollers, clip loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's happening? Real quick. You know what? Fuck it. Here we are in San Diego, y'all.
Right up next to each other, too.
I mean, knee to knee.
We're not in our own chairs.
Yeah, this hotel, we have one of these boutique hotels, and we always say the boutique hotels, I like the boutiqueness of it, but they get away from a little bit of tradition, which is needed. They got chairs that weigh 1,000 pounds, when normally the chairs we use to sit at the desk have rollers on them, and they don't weigh as much. These fucking chairs weigh 1,000 pounds with no rollers, so there's no way I'm carrying that to Andy's room, even if he was literally next door to me. So at the boutique hotel, he found some nice museum piece of furniture that he set up, and here we are at a makeshift desk. But it's a nice hotel. I love the Gas Lamp District. Usually when I would come here, I would do the American Comedy Company, which I don't even think they're open.
No, they're open.
Really?
Yeah.
And we're doing my man Casey from Baston, who I always
His
talk
new
about.
club.
Yeah, Mic Drop. My boy who used to run the stand-up live in Phoenix, my boy Casey from Baston. This is my dude, man. Like I said, there's only a handful of good coaches. NBA, let me put it in, which would be a great segue into our first topic. Let me put it in NBA basketball linguistics. Greg Popovich, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson. I would even throw Chuck Daly in there, even though that's 80s, 90s, and he's since passed. But there's got to be one more. Is it Pat Riley, Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson, Chuck Daly? You get the point.
Who's the coach of the Miami Heat right now?
Spoelstra?
Yeah, dude.
I don't really.
No, they're telling me that everybody says that when you talk to that dude, he's a basketball genius, man.
He need more titles to me, man. Casey's one of them coaches, man. He's one of them club owners and managers that fucking gets it. You love working with him. You love that's your coach. Because so many of these fucking dudes don't get it. And he's from fucking East Coast, and he's from Baston. So we got that New York, Boston. We know how to talk to each other, man.
He's your
love
Bobby,
Casey.
He's your Bobby Patterson.
The fucking guy's to die for. He's fucking wicked kid. I mean, the guy's fucking, he's to die for. He's fucking gets it. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He's just a fucking Bostonian till it's fucking hot. The only thing that could make that guy better is if he had a tattoo of Tom Brady right in his fucking gooch. That spot between your butthole and your balls, the gooch. If he had Tom Brady's face right in the middle, oh God, to fucking die for kid. My name's Bobby Patterson, by the way.
You're going to get to meet Hillary tonight. Hillary's coming. Will be there tonight. His partner in this venture.
Yeah.
And she's great, man.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but when we were in, and it was just last week, Charlotte?
Yeah.
We were in Charlotte, a black girl. To the black girl, sweetie, I don't know your name, but you came up. Matter of fact, no, at the end of my show, when I do requests and I go, anybody want anything? And people start yelling impressions, you yelled out Bobby Patterson. So she listened to the podcast, but she yelled out Bobby Patterson. And I love you for that, baby, because, you know, that's not really, it's not an impression, it's a character. Plus, it's not like the podcast is the number one podcast in the country where everyone would know that. So still, it's a boutique request. It's like the hotel. It's boutique.
You should do it. You should, when she yelled it out, you should have done Bobby Patterson pitching the podcast.
Oh, right. Look, to all you fucking niggers, I'm not comfortable here. I'm really not. But, you know, I got to do my job. I want all of you blacks to listen to the Spears and fucking Steinberg podcast. Yes, it's a Jew and one of you. So if you don't relate to the fucking guy with the Yamaha, you'll relate to the fucking chocolate briquette. You'll fucking love it. It's the fucking Difer. All right, I got to go and check on my car because I'm sure some of you in here have stolen something.
See, there's your pitch next time.
There you go. There you go. Speaking of basketball, rest in peace, Bill Russell.
Yeah, man.
Truly, truly, truly. I don't want to sound like, because now I'm going to sound like I'm being contradictory. I don't want to say one of the GOATs. There's only one GOAT. It's Jordan. But one of the gods. One of the basketball Mount Olympus gods.
There was I read a post someone wrote, and I've agreed with you that the game was different back then, and I don't know how legendary. I don't think he'd be 11 rings. Was it 11 rings?
11 rings.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be 11 rings guy. Obviously, in today's game,
in the era, make your point.
Yeah, but I read this post, and someone said he didn't play against nobody, and that's why he had all this. He played against fucking what's his name now?
Will Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain. He kept Will Chamberlain from getting rings on a well coached, player heavy Lakers team.
Right.
So it wasn't like he didn't play against nobodies. He played against people. He still had to prevent those guys from getting rings. And even if it was a bunch of white guys, everybody says at that time, it was those white guys against those white guys with that black center dude against the other black center dude. And he still held Wilt in check. So he played against people.
Listen, I'm 50-50 on this because I don't want to diminish the greatness of Wilt, the greatness of Russell, the importance of Russell. And, when people often say that they don't like how they try to slight Mike Tyson. Well, he didn't fight nobody. And when he finally fought people who was worth something, Lennox, Holyfield, he lost. Now, I don't want to get into that because we've gotten into that. But I will say he still had to win. Even if you want to call them nobodies, he still had to win. And he could have lost. And not only did he not lose, but he won in fucking dynamic fashion. So Russell still had to win. He still had to go out and compete. He still had to go out and get the job done. And he did it in dynamic fashion. Now, so I'll give him that credit. But I do have to acknowledge they played 29-something games as opposed to 82. They played in an era, and this is not Russell's fault, but they played in an era where it was still kind of segregated. And again, Larry the legend, Larry Bird said, hey, basketball's a black man's game. The best players are black. So if he didn't, and yes, Wilt Chamberlain, but if he didn't play at a time where blacks were really allowed access to the game the way they are now, then he didn't really go up against all the best, did he? Which is why I agree. If he played in the 80s, 90s era, there's no way with David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, am I leaving somebody else? Even throw in Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem. There's no way he's winning 11.
And I'm not going to disagree with that, but his greatness was still, he played against Wilt. He dominated Wilt. Wilt got one championship, and Wilt is, when people start yelling the best centers, Wilt's name comes up in there. And
absolutely.
And before Russell's a lot of time, just because Wilt was dominant. But he was dominated, but Wilt was dominated.
Right.
So I don't understand how people, why they are so excited to dismiss someone as quick as they are.
Yeah, that's such a word for me. I would never dismiss Russell. Because like I said, and I think, again, for what his time was, needed and important.
And
it takes Trump's, the athleticism and the accomplishments at the back. He came up in that era where he was needed. What he did was important.
And he was the coach. He was the player coach.
Right.
So fuck that. He's always going to be in the conversation of the best. I don't care.
I want to read real quick something that I took a picture of. In regards to Wilt. What was Bill Russell's life like while he was racking up 11 rings? His daughter writes, one night we came home from a 3-day weekend and found we had been robbed. Our house was in shambles and nigga was spray painted on the walls. The burglars had poured beer on the pool table and ripped up the felt. They had broken into my father's trophy case and smashed most of his trophies. I was petrified and shocked at the mess. Everyone was very upset. The police came, and after a while, they left. It was then that my parents pulled their bed covers to discover that the burglars had defecated in their bed. Every time the Celtics went out on the road, vandals would come and tip over our garage cans. My father went to the police station to complain. The police told him that the raccoons were responsible. So he asked where he could apply for a gun permit. The raccoons never came back. The only time we were really scared was when my father wrote an article about racism in professional basketball for the Saturday Evening Post. He earned the nickname Felton X. We received threatening letters, and my parents notified the Federal Bureau of Investigation. What I find most telling about this episode is that years later, after Congress had passed the Freedom of Information Act, my father requested his FBI file and found that he was repeatedly referred to therein as an arrogant Negro who won't sign autographs for white children. So again, this is the era he grew up in, and he had to take a lot of that bullshit. And still to remain one of the nicest human beings, and let me be frank, towards white people, is a hat tip. Because he had every reason to be angry. He had every reason to be bitter. He had every reason to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from a personality standpoint, and he wasn't. So kudos to him for that. And that's why I say it's important. He was important. And of course, that iconic photo with him, Ali, Jim Brown, and Kareem in the 60s. And that's what they were doing. They were banding together as brothers to take on the bullshit and take on the system. So you can never diminish. To me, that's, I'm not trying to sound corny, but that's more important than the 11 rings to me. I put him as a god for that alone. Now, you throw in the sports accolades, okay, but I still have to give an asterisk because, again, he didn't play against the best. He did in wilt, but not in abundance.
No.
And he didn't play as many games. So it's easy to win 11 rings when, you're a giant amongst midgets, first of all. And then, you don't play the same amount of games, I'm sorry. I just have to be honest about that.
I don't have any problem with you being honest about it. I have a problem with the people dismissing him for.
Well, I would never dismiss him.
And missing out on what his greatness really is.
Somebody had a picture when they said, you're a bad motherfucker when you jumping over a motherfucker to block a motherfucker. And it was a picture of Bill Russell. And I mean, Bill Russell's waist was on top of this dude's head. And the dude was completely bent the fuck over while Russell was blocking the ball off the glass. Yeah. Again, in death and the afterlife, if it's my fantasy, I hope we can all be in an afterlife world where everybody could be in their prime. And I would love to see Russell go up against all the other major centers in basketball to really see where he was at. Okay, that's all I got on Russell. Anything else?
No. I was glad that he went peaceful. That's what his family said. He went peacefully.
Right.
Because when I go, I hope it's peaceful. I want to relax on my way out.
Right. I was always wondering, who's going to go first, Russell or Morgan Freeman? Morgan, you on deck. You on upperoo when ye. All right, dude, out here in San Diego, we got a chance to go to one of my favorite spots, and I think I rebounded for Andy.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't like that where we were at in North Carolina. You heard him talk about it. The race car track, arcade place, food place from Triple D.
But they run it over with tires and then they bring it to your table.
That's funny. We went to Obi Noodle House here in San Diego from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Andy had the pho. First thing I said to Andy that I knew there was two things I wanted to get from what I saw on the show: the spicy garlic chicken wings and the combination fried rice. So I got the combination fried rice. I said, Andy, we got to split some spicy garlic wings. We did. He had the pho. What'd you think about the wings?
Wings were really good.
Fucking Jesus.
Super crispy. Super crispy.
Super crispy, spicy, garlicky.
That good garlic that doesn't go away. I woke up I brushed my teeth like 8 times. Woke up the next day and I was like, I'm still
garlicky.
Yeah.
Right. The fucking combination fried rice was to die for. And he had the pho. And I'm not a big pho guy. I've had it. But I wanted to get it. But I was like, God damn, I already got the boom and the boom. But damn, I wanted to get it.
Dude, I couldn't eat. You let me have a shrimp of yours. And I was, and then
there was some shrimp.
That put me over. That was just too much.
Right.
The food was really, really good. The pho was good. I would, I'm saying seriously to dine it to, what's
Guy Fieri?
Guy, man. Yeah. If but that other one shouldn't have been on there. This one, yeah, home run. But yeah, I think you have to revisit them after a year and see how they held up after you've been there. And and then they should get an asterisk by their name if you went back and went,
So if you're ever in the San Diego area, people, and you're a fan of the Asian cuisine, OB Noodle House from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, it's fucking great.
Yeah, fuck with the pho.
Yes. And if you're Italian and you come here and they go, how was the pho? Forget about it. You forget about the pho. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to whoever suggested, I can't remember, this man food movie to me from Netflix with Ryan Gosling. It's called The Gray Man. Yo! And I've always kind of liked Ryan Gosling, but I've never been gung-ho. Yo.
Do you hold the Mickey Mouse Club against him?
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't even remember. I remember Justin and Britney Spears. But he looked like a young whippersnapper in Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
When he weighed 10 cents. But in this, man, listen, it's got that Jason Bourne element to it. But man, it's a roller coaster. It's a roller fucking coaster of action. You got to watch it, dude.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Somebody else recommended something to me that I'm going to check out. I forget what it's called. Something with Chris Pratt, an action movie on Amazon
I heard about
Prime.
this one too, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to check that one out. Where are we next week?
We're in Chicago. We're in Schaumburg.
Okay, so on the flight over, I'll check out the Chris Pratt joint. But again, dude, thank you for that recommendation. Fellas, man food movie. The Gray Man with Ryan Gosling on Netflix.
You know what I watched yesterday, though? I don't know why I watched it, because I was bored. And I don't know why it even came to my head, but I watched Punchline.
With Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks and Sally Field. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Damon Wayans is.
Yeah.
With hair.
Yeah, with hair. And who else? There's a couple other comedians that are in there, too.
Yeah, a bunch of comedians in it.
Yeah, but it was just, why is every movie about comedy, when they're talking about comedy, and then the philosophy of comedy, and being yourself in comedy, and then they go out that night, and the person gets it and is immediately funny then for the rest of the movie?
You about Sally Field?
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't happen in an hour.
Yeah, I think that's people who aren't real comedians depicting what comedy is. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I liked it, and I know that that's loosely based on Roseanne Barr. Is it? It's not her story. It's that she was the housewife, and
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she was a housewife, and her husband wasn't big on her going to do this and then she blew up. I don't know. I remember it more fondly than that but I watched it. But and then the other thing is who else is it? Who's supposed to be the star comedian that's there as the judge? Barry Sobel.
Oh, really?
And if you watch Tom Hanks, which I didn't notice before because I hadn't seen this in so long, Hanks is doing a slight impression of Sobel when he's doing some of the stuff on stage.
Really?
Yeah, the way he moves and the way he moves his arm.
Right.
It was totally Sobel. So it was interesting to watch. I'm glad I checked it out again, but I was disappointed.
Sobel was that go-to white guy for anything black in a sitcom.
Yeah, but
in the 80s.
Yeah. But I saw Sobel a few years. He used to come to Arizona and he worked out some comedy out there, but his story isn't ending well.
Really? No. Ooh. Speaking of not ending well, I have been dying to show this to Andy. I don't know if you have ever seen this clip. And back when I was trying to think of who Burt Bridgewater was, I couldn't figure it out. And then when I saw this clip, I went, That's Burt Bridgewater without the accent. Did you ever see the Barbara Walters clip with Sean Connery saying it was okay to slap a woman?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, folks, grab your popcorn and your napkins and listen to this. That is gangster, nigga. He said, I might get some female. They don't make men like that no more.
Dude, there was a movie, I think it's called Highway, and it was with Ali McGraw, I think it was in it. And yeah, and it's Steve McQueen.
Right.
And in that movie, she's becoming agitated and a little hysterical. I think they even use the word hysterical. And he slaps her and says, being hysterical. I think that's the
right.
When they remade that movie in the, I think it was made in 2000, remade in 2000, she slaps him.
Of course. Of fucking course she does.
They didn't just instead of losing the scene and
they had to make the man the bitch.
I didn't say it that way, but
that's how Patrice would have said it.
Yeah.
That brings me to that great, School of Patrice. That moment when he was on Opie and Anthony and he was arguing. And this is one of Patrice's most classic moments when he was talking to this Russian female author. And she had a book about what men want, how to serve men, and some women horse shit. And Patrice was giving it to this bitch. And I mean, for every piece of horse shit she spewed out, he demolished her. And he goes, you guys just want to be able to fuck men. You want to turn us into you, and you want us to be the bitches, and y'all want that senseless, stupid power. And she goes, well, how come we can't fuck you? Why do you have to fuck us? He goes, because you're the fucky. And I'm just going, bravo, nigga. Let's play our parts and cut the horse shit. Stop trying to fucking feminine men up. And dude, let's just give a second. Now, I'm not in no way, again, condoning some slap shit. Somewhere, Ronald Williams is standing on his bed, jumping up and down like a 5-year-old, going, Sean Connery. I'm not promoting what Sean said, but let's have a moment of 5 seconds of silence for that last thing he said. Whether he was being funny, an attempt to be funny, sarcastic, that was gangster. That was Barbara going, I'll see your slap and I'll raise you this. And Connery went, no, I'll see your comment and raise you this. When she said, you might get some mail.
You're going to get some mail.
You're going to get some mail. I might get some female. There's a double thing happening there. He's saying female, but he's also saying, I might get some pussy. And you know what makes that gangster? First of all, 5 minutes of silence. Excuse me. Let's start.
5 seconds.
5 seconds. What he's saying there is that there's some women who have watched that clip and they got wet. I'm not saying they're wet at the slap, even though some might be. They're wet at the idea that he has that machismo, macho, I'm a man, stay in your place. That was gangster, yo. It was gangster because I knew he meant two things at once. He'll play the male role. Male. That's like some rap shit. That's a bar. I might get some female. Some bitches' tit nipples got hard off that.
I like what he said before that. All that before, though. He said there's this part where he said, and then they want the last word, and you give them the last word.
Mm-hmm.
But because you gave it to them, it ain't good enough.
Right. And with that last word, they gotta fucking take the fucking needle and turn it and poke you and do the shit that they know is gonna make you upset. Again, not validation for Ronald Williams. But goddamn it, women, you know, you sneaky mother, you know what the fuck y'all do. Oof. James Bond, man. And Sean Connery has always been regarded by women as a sexy dude.
Yeah.
even in his old age. And I can't help but believe some of it is that old school, I'm a man, goddammit. When I open my shirt, my chest smells like Brute by Fabergé. His chest hairs smell like vintage wine, nigga. All right. Call again, I'll slap the shit out of you. Yeah. So ode to Sean Connery, baby. I think he's the original Burt Bridgewater.
I think though it helps to have that. He's Welsh, right? He has that Welsh accent.
Yeah, I thought it was Scottish.
No, I think he's Welsh.
Okay.
I think if whatever that accent is, whatever you're doing there, I think you need that if you want to slap someone, if you want to slap a woman.
Yeah, that accent is called abuse. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes. New York City point guards, and talk about like with female. Again, I said this is what I loved about this title. It's a double meaning. Gods as in these niggas was biblical. They was holy with they shit. But gods is in New York vernacular. Yo, what up, God? Yo, what's up, kid? Yo, what up, God? It's New York shit. First question to you. Where do you rank Mark Jackson amongst NBA point guards?
Skill wise or
everything? Because when I think of top point guards, immediately, and I'll even include today's Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, best point guard of all time. Isaiah definitely second. Now the rest for me are in no order. Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, was Pete Maravich?
Pistol Pete
Maravich. I don't know that either him or Kenny Smith is in my top 10. And it seemed like what they were saying about Mark Jackson was he wasn't special, but he was so efficient. He got the job done.
He's also super smart. He saw the game like nobody else sees the game. That's why he could coach.
Right.
He has a different outlook on the game. But skill-wise, I mean, drop your jaw skills.
Not like a Kyrie Irving with handles.
No, but you mean, I always think Anthony Hardaway is that guy who gets left off because he couldn't hold it. He wasn't healthy long enough. But that
would you consider him a true point guard or a two?
He played the point though.
Okay.
I mean, he was the reincarnation of Magic. So I mean, I just wish he had a career that could have given him the time and not had that knee problem.
You think if he didn't get hurt, he goes above? I don't think he'll go above Magic.
No.
Magic, but do you think he goes above Isaiah?
Yeah, I still have a hard time giving Isaiah too.
Really?
Yeah.
Even Michael Jordan said on The Last Dance, he was like, "Yo,
I know
we don't get along, but he's the second best point guard next to Magic."
I know.
No,
I don't know why he never did it for me like that. I know. No, man.
Do you have I won't say top 10 because that might be too much, but who's your top 5 off the top of the dome? For me, it'd have to be Magic, Isaiah. And this, again, now I don't care about order at this point, but I definitely got to throw Kyrie in there. I got to throw Chris Paul in there. Number five, Jason Kidd.
Yeah, Jason Kidd is in my tops because he also played in Phoenix. And he was an unbelievable point guard.
So does Phoenix give you an automatic birthright?
To my brain, it does.
So then that means in your top 5 automatically is Jason Kidd and Steve Nash.
No, Nash is a really, like, he saw the court really well, but he was he could be a defensive liability, though, at the same time.
I think most of them dudes is defensive liabilities.
Jason Kidd wasn't.
I don't remember. Was he a good defender?
Yeah.
Gary Payton?
Gary Payton was a good defender, but Gary Payton had other, I like Gary Payton a lot. I just don't know. Is he in the top 10? Maybe.
I think he's over Mark Jackson. Again, Mark Jackson wasn't sexy with it, but he got the job done. Like even when they mentioned Rod Strickland.
Yeah. Like
Rod Strickland was a motherfucker, skills wise. He's over Mark Jackson.
You think he's over Mark Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute though. It's your team. Okay, it's your team, and both of them in their prime. Rod Strickland, Mark Jackson.
Right.
And you have to have someone that runs the floor for you, that is the quarterback of your team. You got to have someone that keeps their head in the game.
Right. You might be right. For Mark Jackson, less is more. If that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, because he gives you the best. Look at it like with Chicago. You didn't want a point guard that was good. You had Jordan. You didn't need that point. You wanted someone efficient who didn't turn over the ball. You wanted someone who could run the floor. You got someone to make sure everybody was in the right place.
But when you have Jordan, you really don't need a John Paxson and a B.J. Armstrong is enough.
I'm not disagreeing with that. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Is enough. But let's say now this is what I was getting to. Mark Jackson could have played on the Bulls with Jordan.
Oh.
Rod Strickland couldn't have.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Why?
I don't think he had his mental wasn't set up for it.
I think between Phil and MJ, they would have checked him and went, look, man, all we need you to do is this. But he could give you that other shit.
But he couldn't do it. He would lose his mind sometimes when he played in fucking New York.
Okay, but we're talking about Chicago. We're talking about Phil and Michael.
I understand. I'm just saying, given the tape that we have right now,
right?
I take Mark Jackson.
All right, so just yay or nay. So Magic is your number one.
Magic's always the number one.
Okay, I'm not no order now, but you love Jason Kidd, just two.
Yeah. Steve
Nash.
He's an outside 10.
Okay, so Penny.
He's my number 2.
Okay, so that's 3 now.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
It's right around 9, 10.
So no top 5?
I don't think he's in the top 5.
Kyrie Irving.
But then I have to put his mental into it, and I don't know where he's going to end up. So he's not in my top 5.
Okay, so still we had 4.
Yeah.
Trae Young, he's on TV right now. No. Would you put him in your top 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Isaiah Thomas, top 10?
Yeah, he's in the top 10.
Top 10. So I don't know how many that is so far.
I think that's only 4 right there.
No. But if you're saying top 10, that's 4 that you picked.
Yeah.
But the ones that you said no, but top 10, that's at least another 4.
That they're all,
Here's what I'm getting at. So we know the 4. So now, Kyrie Irving, top 10?
Yeah.
Steve Nash, top 10?
No.
Gary Payton, top 10?
I don't know. Right there at the edge, 8, 9, 10.
So we'll put him in there, Gary Payton. Trae Young, top 10?
No, I don't think he's top 10. I really don't think he's top 10.
Who else did we say?
I'm trying to think of who else who I really like.
Oh, Rod Strickland, top 10?
No.
Wow, nigga. Okay, well then so far we got 6.
Man, it's a tough position because, here's the thing. Wait, let me back this up. When they played and you're watching them play and they show their highlights, a point guard, to me, has to be someone who could run the floor but isn't necessarily worried about scoring. They're not worried about stats. They're worried about the team. They put the team ahead of them because your wing players are the people you want to play with, and then your point guard should be playing off the center. That's how I think basketball is supposed to play in a traditional way. So for me, it's also what fits with the team that you have. Some point guards need to score because they don't have scorers. So they have to play more of the scoring game.
So then from what it sounds like, Mark Jackson's in your top 10.
Mark Jackson's in my top 10.
Kenny Smith?
Kenny Smith is probably in the top 10. Plus, Kenny Smith, his skill level, most point guard, not most, let me rephrase that. A lot of point guards can't get up the way Kenny did. They're not as fast. They can't dunk the way that he did. Magic could, but Magic was this a whole
6'9".
Yeah, he's this whole other kind of point guard. But when you look at a lot of the point guards, they don't get up like that.
All right.
So that, Kenny Smith had a different kind of game, which I thought was really, but he wasn't needed to. Like I said, his mental was good with the game. Who was he playing again with? Olajuwon. It's a different game. You don't need your point guard going in there and dunking when you have Olajuwon underneath the basket.
Right. Well, but to me that feels like when you got an Olajuwon, how important is the point guard? Like a Michael Jordan and a Scottie and a Phil. How important does the point guard need to be?
It depends on what you need him to do. But listen, in today's game, if Kenny was in today's game and you had a center that could work around the basket and then go up to the 3-point line, and now you open up the lane for Kenny to go in and dunk. Now how important is Kenny?
Yeah, it's funny when Shaq and Barkley, well, more Barkley than Shaq, but Barkley always gives Kenny shit jokingly, like, you know, nigga, Akeem got you 2 rings. You didn't get him 2 rings. You know, if it wasn't for Akeem, you wouldn't, nigga, please.
But I don't even know how Barkley can say that because no one got him rings and he didn't get his either.
But Barkley also didn't play with an Akeem Olajuwon or a Jordan.
He went to Houston.
Yeah, but he was old then. Akeem was old then. No, none of them dudes were in their prime.
No.
When he was in his prime in Phoenix, who else did he have? What was his 1-2 punch? Kevin Johnson?
Kevin Johnson was a good, you know what?
And where do you put him?
I probably put him in the top 10. If he had more of a team around him, other than, you know, that dude used to get hurt every year. He used to play every game. And, you know, you talk about load management. They didn't have load management back then. Played every game, get in the playoffs.
Say that again?
They didn't have load management back then.
One more time.
They didn't have load management
You
back
young
then.
motherfuckers, boy, y'all swear. Bigger, stronger, faster, more durable. Fuck out of here.
And he fucked up his hamstring at the playoffs every fucking year because they rode him hard the whole time because they didn't have that. They didn't have the scoring like that. But then they got Marley, who was interesting. When they had the Matrix, but he came too late.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barkley wasn't there by then.
I know. That's what I said. Matrix came too late.
Right.
You had
Can you imagine the Matrix with Barkley? Or even Amari Stoudemire.
Dude, Amari Stoudemire. Phoenix has gotten jacked a few times, but it's because I'm from there. I'm going to defend him. But damn, man, I really... Yeah, it's just they always miss. They've always come up short. This team that they have now, and I want, you know, when you said CP3, I mean, I just don't think. I don't think he's a great point guard, but they need some scoring too, and he's just getting too old. I don't think he has.
Yeah, but he could score though.
He can score, but his scoring is off now. He's starting to slow down.
Now, but I'm saying when he was in his prime, he was a great point guard that could score.
Yeah, I think the point guard. I think what I like about point guards is underappreciated, and it's about not that you can score, but that's not your primary function. Your function is to get to the people that can score.
Yeah,
and set them up the right way.
As far as team, I'll give Kenny. Listen, and I think the Rockets often get slept on, and I sent a post out where I said it was actually a meme of the 72-10 Bulls and the KD Warriors. And the question was, who wins this series? And I said, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think the Kevin Durant Warriors beat the 72-10 Bulls, the Bad Boy Pistons, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, the Magic and Kareem Lakers, the Magic, the Orlando Magic, Shaq and Penny. And then everybody, you know, there was, of course, some I disagree, but most people agreed with me, except for they went, nah, not the Magic, Penny, Orlando Magic. But a couple of people went, dude, you forgot the Rockets. And I went, oh. Dude, that 90s Rockets team.
Yeah.
Mario Elie, fucking Vernon Maxwell, Robert Horry, Sam Cassell, Kenny Smith, Hakeem Olajuwon. Yo.
That's who kept Phoenix from getting their rings.
That team was serious business. And again, as far as the team and what made that team solid, I give Kenny Smith his props. But just, it seemed like in his Sacramento days, he was more quicker, athletic, of course, younger. Houston, to me, I just went, okay, from a team standpoint, he's a great fit. But he don't blow me away as a point guard.
That's the harder part. I don't think the point guard blows you away. If they're playing
if Isaiah Thomas blew you away. Magic blew you away.
Magic is different. You know, my thing with Isaiah, I think, is because I just look at him in the same, because of the same time period with Magic, and then there's Isaiah, and they didn't come. To me, there was no closeness in that competition right there.
Even with the 2 championships.
Yeah, I don't care, man. Magic played the game just a different way, and I'm saying it does speak against what I'm saying. Traditional point guard, making sure people were in the right place, getting the ball at the right time. Isaiah was great at that, and he can score. So that's great. I mean, I don't know. There's just something I have with him that always prevents me from getting there. Dude, you left out 76ers.
Oh, you talking about Dr. J and Moses?
No, the little point guard.
Oh, James Harden?
No. Fuck.
This current 76ers?
No. Before, past, 90s.
76ers.
Philadelphia.
Oh, AI.
Yeah.
But
Allen
AI,
Iverson.
well, most people think he played the 2, though. But he did run point. He could run point, but he was mainly a 2.
Was he a 2?
Listen, whenever he ran the point, he looked solid to me. You rank him in the top 10?
See, that's the mental part. That's the mental part. He has that same mental as Kobe and
really, based off what you've said, you really don't have a top 10. Nigga.
No, I don't.
Because a lot of the people you said no to.
I think that the point guard depends on the team so much more than are you with the greatest point guard. I think the greatest point guard.
So let's put it like this:
works into the team.
You would pick if you were putting your team together and you needed your point guard. You would pick Mark Jackson, Kenny Smith over AI.
I'd take Mark Jackson.
You would take Mark Jackson over Chris Paul?
That'd be a tough one. If the young Chris Paul, I'd probably take Chris Paul.
You take Mark Jackson over Gary Payton?
I'm going to take Mark Jackson a lot. Yeah.
Wow. I hear him.
No, but
come emails.
But that also means what's my team? When I'm saying traditional point guard, I'm taking the idea of just a point guard.
Right.
Yeah, but like in today's game, though, today's game is different. If you have a big man that can float from inside to outside, and you have a point guard that can come in and score.
But the way the game is being played now, everything is about threes. The big man game is obsolete now.
Because the big man moves outside and can hit the 3, but that opens up underneath the lane. So all of a sudden, if you get closed out on the 3-point line, even if you're the big guy, you could just throw it right down to your point guard. And if he can get up, he's done. A Kenny Smith in today's game would be racking up points all day long. Because they could run the pick and roll, they could run inside out, they could play the game completely different. If you have someone like that, you could eat it up. Because your big man's going to go outside and hit the 3. They have to defend the 3. The lane's open. So you can get whatever you want. You could switch off, you can go both ways. The point guard can come out, they can hit the 3. If you can do that, that's what's different about today's game. That we're redefining the roles of what each position player is supposed to play. When we say center, you're thinking of a guy under the basket, aren't you? But that center isn't under the basket anymore. So the point guard can't play the same place that he used to play.
Yeah.
This is why I'm saying when you're asking me, I'm going back and forth from the day that we're talking about some of these guys in the era that they played to today. And it doesn't fit anymore. Some of the guys back in the day, I think, could play better today. I think Kenny Smith is one of those people who would be a more impactful point guard today than he was when he played.
I don't know, dude. Because when you look at the Kyrie Irvings of the world with that speed and handle, and I don't even know, is John Morant, the Grizzlies nigga, he's a 2, right?
He's a 2.
Okay.
Or a small, doesn't he play a small wing sometimes?
I'm not sure. But
I know he's a guard, though. I know he's a guard originally.
It just feels like Kenny Smith is an old Porsche and compared to today's Porsche. And it just don't measure up, nigga.
I think that today's game, he would be... okay, let's put it this way. Him and Mark Jackson, I think in today's game, Kenny can play a lot. Kenny's going to score a lot more. He's going to be a bigger impact than Mark Jackson would be today in the game.
Right.
Because of the way the game's played. That's all.
New York City has always been seen as the Mecca of basketball.
Yeah.
And of course, they almost called the Garden a cathedral. When you hear about great basketball cities where basketball is like a religion, where do you think the best basketball players come out of? New York, Chicago, or LA?
I mean, I'm still New York partial because that's what I grew up on was Knicks. You know,
who haven't won a championship since the
70s,
since the Cretaceous era.
Yeah, since the 70s. But that's because everybody leaves there. But I mean, California is where it seems like where all the better players come from right now. The whole California area. But it's not even based on that anymore. It's based on these these high schools that aren't really high schools. They're basketball teams.
Right. Would you say Detroit is in that?
I don't know. Who's come out of Detroit recently that you're going, damn, that's one of the best basketball players ever?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Plus, them Detroit niggas, when they ball, probably a lot of deflated basketballs with them pinky nails. Catch some of them passes, nigga. We need another ball, nigga. Yeah, man, I know how much pride them dudes have. My city. Because I know New York has always been the Mecca, especially street ball,
Okay, put it that way. Where's the best street ball at, though?
Oh, New York. Hands down. You can't get me to believe anything else. And this ain't me being New York biased. Listen, man, again, for somebody like myself that wish I could always play, one of the fucking gangsterest, coolest things I ever seen, where you could go in New York, and this is, again, what I love about New York. Those I don't want to say cages, but the fences.
Yeah, on the corners. The corner parks.
The corner parks with the dudes are hitting off the metal backboards, and you just go and you get in the park and you play a game, and the bodega or the deli across the street. Always wanted to do that.
Dude, there's two, right by the cellar in New York, right by the cellar. There's they run 2 courts there. They play league games there all the time. You go there on a league game, there's crowds around watching basketball. Sometimes there's just good 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 games, and people are just watching. The McDonald's was closed. I think it's the only McDonald's that ever closed in the world. But there was a McDonald's there. I used to go get $1 Coke and go watch the game. Just stand there and watch a game. It was as entertaining. I shouldn't say it was entertaining as going to Madison Square Garden, but sometimes the games were that entertaining. Plus, you can hear everybody talking shit right there. I mean, you're that close. Rucker Park is still the park.
You ever been to Rucker?
I have not been to Rucker. I want to go. I've watched everything about it, and I've just never gone. But I've watched so many street ball games in New York because they're fun to watch. People are playing. I've actually played once in my whole life when I was in pretty decent shape, and I could still play it, and I got my ass handed to me on the street.
Dude, you forget until you see the footage. At one point in its hey, I think in at least mid to certainly the 90s, maybe even the 2000s, dude, Bill Clinton came to Rucker Park to watch ball. Kobe Bryant played at Rucker Park. Some of the biggest names, Shaq showed up. Jay-Z had a team. Like at one point, Rucker Park was like every bit a part of the hip-hop staple as anything between the emergence of hip-hop music, hip-hop culture. It was like Rucker Park was a music video set.
They joined each other because Rucker was already there.
Right, been there.
But and that's just in the point guards that we're talking about, where Fat Joe is talking about his team,
right,
versus
Diddy's team or Jay-Z's team. I mean, even when you say Rucker Park has been there, the 70s when Dr. J had the afro, they used to show the footage. Niggas are sitting in trees. People are on rooftops to watch the games. They were like as important as NBA games. So New York's the Mecca.
But that level of basketball that's played out there, that's what coaches used to fight against to bring into the league. Just forget there was a time when coaches didn't want you to dunk. They wanted you to fucking bank it in. You were supposed to just do a layup.
Those are the good days, Andy. Back when basketball was as pure as a white woman's cooch on a spring day. It wasn't infested with all that nigger drama. It was when the game was pure, when the white kids would eat their peanuts and crackers alongside their crackers, meaning their parents. It was pure white. The only thing black was the asphalt. But then again, the monkeys came. All the silverbacks, the orangutans, the chimpanzees, and it was monkey mayhem. The good old days. If only they could play that way in Rucker Park, you'd serve 2 purposes. You'd have the niggas in cages. So when the game was over, they didn't go home. They stayed right where they belonged. Brett Butler, yeah? All right.
So back to this time period. No, I love when you see things that are going on in the Rucker, and then you would see them in basketball. And in the 80s is when you really started to see a lot more of that come in. Right. Late 70s, 80s.
Well, when you say they didn't want him to dunk, they didn't want him to dunk, but also when you talk about, you look at one of the point guards, they mentioned Rafer Alston, Skip to Malou, the and one player. To be honest, if there is more than one, I can't recall it, but he was the one dude, might have been more than him, but for sure, he was the one dude from the and one street ball era to actually make it into the NBA because, and a lot of pro players said, a lot of what you see on them and one street ball, you can't do that in the league. A lot of that shit is considered a carry when they move the ball a certain way. But Rafer Alston made it into the league and was very successful early part of his career. Where do you put Rafer Alston? Top 10?
How long was his career?
I don't know. I know in the beginning when he first got in the league, he was pretty effective.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many. It's hard for me when you say top 10 and I keep leaving people out because I don't know. There's so many great players and I just don't know that they make it in a different team or they're better in a different team. Right. You have to go to their college years to see where they played. Ray Frost, we're not going to get the college game. I mean, he had his college game, but it's what he brought from the street to basketball that makes him.
Right.
I don't know, man. I think he was. There was obviously there's skills there, but there's, when you go and watch these guys play the street ball, it's amazing to watch them play. I mean, it's not like and I know that the NBA is different. And I know, like you just said, some of those moves can't be done. And some of it's about the mentality that you bring to the NBA. The NBA is a job. It's a job. It's a business.
Right.
And so some of these guys aren't employable. They're great players, but they're not employable.
Right.
So, all this talent that we see, how does it fit together? How does it fit together with the team mentality? How does it fit together with the coach mentality? I don't know. And I guess that's where I get stuck with the point guard. To me, that's one of the purest positions that if you play that position right, how do you fit in with your team? If you had a point guard that did like to score, can you play with Michael Jordan? Can you play on the Bulls?
I know if we haven't lost the women on this episode already, given the nature of what we're talking about, I may lose you on this point. I used to often say, pro coaches in the NBA, look, if you can get both a guy who's extremely talented and I'm doing air quotes here, coachable. If you can get the 2-in-1 package, that's every coach's dream. But some dudes, they'll take who are less talented, but they're coachable. They show up to practice and don't say, practice, not a game. We're talking about practice. Larry Brown would say to this day, he idolizes and worships Allen Iverson, loves him. And I don't doubt that he's telling the truth, but if you ever followed Larry Brown and AI, he was a headache. AI could be a headache because, he was coachable, but he was AI. And I guess to some degree, to your point, if you're not the most talented guy in the world, but you're coachable, they put up with that. And I say that to say, I used to tell one of my baby mothers, girl, when it comes to sex, sucking dick and fucking, you are talented. I just wish you was coachable. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a headache, but you're so talented. Whereas my other baby mother, she might not be as talented as you in the bedroom, but the bitch is coachable. Ladies, are you still with us?
There are some women that like basketball, and there are some women that like being, coachable.
Yeah.
And you use the term coachable, but I think I would like to say a team ball player. There's certain teams that need a team aspect, and the point guard has to work within that team. The whole team has to work within the team if that's what you're doing. But there are times when people have their extraordinary talents, and because the team's fallen behind or they feel that they can do something, they come out of the team ball game to play their game. And it doesn't necessarily win games.
Right.
But but they may score, but that doesn't get I don't know. Basketball is it's one of those sports that's very interesting because like when you play football, one player doesn't change the team.
Right.
It improves the team, but it doesn't change the team. One great player on a basketball team can change the whole team.
You really believe that's true?
Yeah.
So if you took Tom Brady off the Patriots when the Patriots was at the most patriotness, that don't change the team?
It changes the team, but we saw that they actually could play when they had the rest of the team around them, the people that they're putting in, they're still playing decent. I'm not saying they're the greatest team,
But if you take out the most integral part, you don't think that?
No, but I'm saying more so that when you bring someone in that's great, it's still basketball. There's an immediate effect on it.
Right.
Where when you bring some great player in, it changes the team. So one player can make a difference whether the team becomes a playoff team or championship team.
If you had to choose between, again, Mark Jackson or Stefan Marbury. And keep in mind, Marbury played for Phoenix.
I know. Believe me, I know.
Okay.
Mark Jackson.
Jesus, son. I would, because Marbury was very talented, but he seemed like at times his head wasn't in the game.
Marbury got better as he got older, but then he wasn't as talented. But he got better because his headspace changed. The point guard position is such a tough position for me because it really is.
Kenny Smith over Marbury.
I still take Kenny Smith.
Damn, boy.
I like Kenny Smith. I really like Kenny Smith a lot.
Okay, so
but see, I like DJ. I like DJ when he played for Celtics. Dennis Johnson.
Oh, Dennis Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked him a lot. He's
underrated.
He's an underrated point guard. Who else is in there that I think no one ever talks about? I mean,
but we got to keep
go ahead.
about New York City.
Let's go.
But let me ask you this, let's have a little fun with this. So in terms of Phoenix point guards, we know there's been Marbury, there's been Nash, there's been Chris Paul, and there's been Kevin Johnson. Give me your best to worst. Phoenix point guards. Those four.
And I'm sorry.
In order.
Which one did
best to worst? Marbury, Nash, Chris Paul, Kevin Johnson.
That's the order.
That's the order right there?
It's
Marbury.
Marbury's number 4.
Number 4.
Yep.
Nash.
It's number 3. Chris Paul, number 2.
And then
Kevin Johnson, number 1.
You put Kevin Johnson over them 3?
Dude, did you ever see the Kevin Johnson dunk on Olajuwon?
Yes.
One of the greatest dunks of all times in the history of basketball. I'll live off that. I'll live off that for the rest of my life.
Wait a minute. Kevin Johnson over Steve Nash? You're talking about a floor general now. A guy who will get you the ball, be the quarterback.
Because Kevin Johnson, although I said it's a heady position and you got to be able to know what your team needs. Kevin Johnson, where Nash could score, but Nash wasn't going to go kill it. Like Kevin, when they didn't have scorers, he scored. When they needed to run the floor, he ran the floor. He did what was required of him. And I think if he would have had more things around him, it would have changed his career. He got hurt a lot because he had to play hard all year long. I still think he's probably one of the best Phoenix Suns ever.
Kevin Johnson over Chris Paul?
Mm-hmm. That's just me. But that's also also when I grew up. I grew up in that where that was the dude. That was the dude for the Suns when I was growing up. That's who I came to see.
All right.
So maybe it's just my romanticizing.
My order would have to be Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Marbury, and Kevin Johnson.
I'm talking about when they played for the Suns. I'm not talking about the best.
No,
the best
when
time
they played for the Suns.
Yeah.
All right. Dude, God, Sham God. First of all, what a name. Dude, that's why, again, I say it's a hell of a conundrum. And, some of these basketball players, especially when you're a kid, when you see what they do, it's like they have superpowers. Some dudes are better than others at certain skills, and some dudes have it all, a la Jordan, the ultimate superhero. But I go, again, dunking. If you look at Dr. J, if you look at Vince Carter, it's a superpower. Fucking shooting. If you look at Steph Curry, if you look at Ray Allen, look at Bird, that's a superpower. Fucking handles. To be able to do some of that whip whop and make a motherfucker fall, God, Sham God. Woo!
You know the game who they were playing, right?
Who?
The game that they showed on that when he pulled out that step back like that.
Who?
That was the U of A. That was Arizona. That was Tucson.
Take that, Phoenix.
No, that was U of A. They were playing. That was the grade 8 or the whatever else they call it. It's either the grade 8 or I don't know. There's some other name for it. 8. And that's when he pulled that move out.
Oof.
But he also said, and this is what I like about it, because if this is what makes me love basketball even more. He went to make a move, and the move was kind of blown. The move fell apart. And so he just reacted. And what he went to is what you do well when you're like, this is what it is about when you coach and when you try to set teams up, when you do all this. He went to his natural ability. That's where that's what that came out of. How he played on the street, how he played, and he was comfortable. That move happened because the move that he went to make, it got, I don't even know if it got fucked up or wasn't there. And then he reached back, pulled it back, and he did what he would do if he was on the playground. And it blew everybody away. U of A did win that game, though, by the way.
And do like how they would show, like how some people work on their handles, bouncing tennis balls, and dude was like, I think Kenny Smith said it, not Kenny Smith. Well, there's two Kenny Smiths, right?
No, it was Kenny Anderson.
Kenny Anderson went. I would go home from the store and I would have eggs in one hand and be dribbling a tennis ball in the other. I broke so many eggs until I got to a point where I didn't break eggs no more. I just don't know that I have the discipline to put in that. I'm wondering, is that really a talent? Like anything else, is a true talent is something you're born with. Is that really a true talent that you're born with? Or can you take a guy who from scratch, zero, who's never touched the basketball and teach him so well that he can do that?
But he has to have that natural ability.
Okay.
I think you have to have some natural ability, but I think you can learn it. I mean, I remember when I first was playing basketball, I had no skill level whatsoever. So I played with my right hand, and all I did was play with, and I got really good at going to my right, playing off my right hand. I tried to get to my left hand. I saw guys that were dribbling, they could dribble both balls, they could switch hands, they could move. I was like, I instantly knew I would never be that good.
Right.
So my goal was just to get really better with the right hand and get good enough that I could play.
Right.
But you can only go so far because once people know you can only go right and then you only have the right hand, then you're done.
Yeah. See, I think some of that, you got to start early. Like the moment you can walk, you got to start early. Because when my love for basketball, because of Jordan, happened in the 90s. I think 90. But by that time, I'm like, and I didn't really I like to watch Jordan, but the idea of me playing was still not even something I would entertain. Once I started to get to the point where I went, I wish I could do this. I went, dude, it's too late. You're too old for you to have to do some of the shit these niggas do with crossovers and blah, 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 and dribbles. And I don't have the time to learn that or the discipline. I would get too frustrated. And it's one of those things where I feel like if you didn't do that early as a kid, too late. I mean, can you teach a 28-year-old who's not basketball inclined to do that shit?
No, when you're 28, you're not going there.
Right.
Sorry, you're not, because you're. Yeah, no, it's not. It's
too late.
It's too late. It's 28. Most of those guys are like, that's the prime of their career, and you're going to try to learn basketball at the prime of most people's career.
Right. Damn.
You had to get it in. I started getting in elementary school is when I started, and I couldn't even get the ball to the rim. And I had some guys that I played with, and it was just, we wanted to play basketball. It was what I liked about basketball, and I think why basketball survives and why it's played the way it is because it's the only thing you can do by yourself. You don't have anybody else with you. You can go to a hoop and you can just throw up a basketball into the hoop.
I think that feeling's overrated. Sex is you can do by yourself too. I would never. Yeah,
then you clean up and you go play basketball.
So you do two things by yourself.
You can do multiples, but
you can jack off and then dribble a ball.
But that's it. That's a sport that you can practice tennis. You hit it off the wall, bounce it back and forth. And there's great tennis players who I think maybe do that when they're. But I think people who have to entertain themselves become really good at certain things because they can start young. Because no one wants to. No one's training a 4-year-old to dunk. You know what I mean? It's right. Not. That's not.
Well, shit. I'm sure somewhere there's some parents that's living in the ghetto in the projects that go, we got to get out of here. Hey, child, get your ass out there.
Get up.
Yeah.
Let's see how high you can get here. But I just think that's what makes basketball great. And then you make friends from the court. That's how it worked out for me. I don't know.
I was wondering how a guy like Pearl Washington could not go to the NBA. And then we kind of covered this a little bit, but with the street ballers, but how is it that some guys are so impactful in college, but that doesn't translate to the NBA. I remember when Barkley was on, again, one of my favorite shows, Open Court, and he said, what guys don't understand is no matter how good you were in high school, that's high school. That don't mean college. However good you were in college, that's college. That don't mean NBA. Like, there's levels to this. And being good at one level is not a birthright to the next level. You have to start over again. And that's what he said that was the thing that stuck out. And I'm just going, God damn, do you see the discipline and the work? The idea that you could be All-American, this high school basketball star, and then get to college and start from ground zero, and basically you ain't shit. Then you can be dominant in college and get all the accolades, and you get to the NBA, you ain't shit.
Well, how many college basketball teams are there in the country?
I don't know.
Hundreds, right? Though
Right.
How many NBA teams?
29?
That's how much space opens up every year.
Mm.
I mean, how few spaces are there? You have a better chance of probably winning the lottery than you do of playing basketball.
I don't know about that, but I hear where you're coming from.
You really, the space to play in the NBA is very small.
Right.
But there's other places to play. And people talk about the NBA as this greatest place to play. I mean, we talked about Steinberg, man. He played in China. I mean, he became bigger in China than he ever was here.
Was that by choice?
Probably not, but he made more money there. Your lifestyle. I mean, you're not living in America. You're not in the number one fan base in the world for basketball. But like when Kukoc came over from where he was playing, you make less money. I mean, I know guys that play in Italy that are, they have a chef. They put them up in a beautiful home. They get driven to the games. They're treated like royalty, and they make more money than if they were playing in the NBA. So there's an allure to the NBA, but it isn't everything. There is other parts to even if you don't play in the NBA.
Yeah. Always felt like wasn't Stefan Marbury and Kevin Garnett supposed to win a title?
Yeah.
That was a hell of a duo.
Yeah. But then, and I don't want to talk bad about Marbury, but back when he was young, you have to have a certain mental for this to win. I mean, that's Jordan, right?
Right.
And I don't know that they had it at the time.
Right.
And Marbury he was immature. I'm not trying to be mean to the dude. I think that he's really an amazing player. He played really well when he was in Phoenix for the most part. He's had a hell of a career that he's taken overseas, and they have a statue of him like Rocky out in
Right.
China. So, you're not who you are either when you come into the NBA. You're still developing. You're still a young person. You're 22 years old, 21, 22 years old.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be held accountable and have the weight of the world on my shoulder, the weight of a city on my shoulders to win a championship when I was 21. I was, getting in trouble with the law when I was 21.
But if we're being, there are some dudes who are built to handle it.
Yeah.
This is, again, what makes Magic so impressive. He won on every stage. He won in high school. He won in college. And the most impressive thing I always say, he won his rookie year. A championship his rookie year, playing center, scoring that crazy triple-double. And I'm just going, some dudes are just, Magic was built different.
But there's another guy who got the person the ball at the right place, and his scoring, and although he scored and he had, he ran points up, but his primary goal was to pass the ball. That's what I'm talking about with point guards and where you are in your team and what needs to be done and why that position is so special. The point guard position is so special.
It's the number one spot, kid. The top tier position. That was Any Given Sunday. Al Pacino. But again, talking about being headstrong, you look at Magic. I remember in The Last Dance, it was great. I love it how the dude was interviewing a young rookie, Michael Jordan, and said, how's the transition been from college to basketball? And at first, you could tell Mike was going to say, oh, it's a little blah, 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 the complex. And he took a beat and he went, it's And you see where Clifton has had to go, just tell the truth. And he goes, it's been pretty easy. It's nothing to me. And that speaks to his great talent. And even, LeBron James. You talk about the weight of the world on you in a city. We're talking about an entire league. Right. He's coming out of high school, he was branded, the chosen one?
Yeah.
And he's done a pretty damn good job.
Yeah.
So there are some dudes who are mentally equipped to carry that burden.
But mentally equipped is better because as you're talking about Mark Jackson, which is on this point guards thing, is probably my favorite point guard on there. Let's just take Steve Kerr for an example. Steve Kerr, he had a good, sound college career. Did you think he was going to be an NBA player? When he got drafted, people were excited that he went to the NBA. I don't know if everybody thought he was going to get drafted to the NBA. And he got picked up by Phoenix first and then traded. I mean, it was a homer kind of move.
Right.
But his mental, look where he coaches now. Look where he was the general manager in Phoenix for a while. I mean, he understands the game. And that's why I'm saying that mental part, the aspect of understanding this game and how it's played and what your position is and what your team needs is so important, so crucial. The coach on the floor is the point guard. That's the dude.
I see what you're saying more now about Mark Jackson. Great moment in open court. I think the subject was they wanted the players to describe what their humble beginnings, what their some of their great stories when they first came into the league. And Steve Kerr tells the story because when he first got in the league, he was with the Cavs. I didn't know that. He played with Mark Price, Doherty, Elo. He was on that Cavs team. And he tells the story how he's sitting on the bench and Mike's got someone guarding him, and where Mike was positioned on the court was near the bench, near Steve Kerr. And Steve said, Mike looked at him and went, "Hey man, watch this." And he basically told Steve Kerr what he was going to do to the guy guarding him. And he said, "Steve, watch this. I'm about to And Mike did it. And then Kenny Smith goes, "Oh, I thought he told you, hey man, you see this ball? Some odd years from now, I'm going to pass this to you in the finals. And you're going to make the shot, hit it, and win us a championship." Something Isaiah Thomas said, which makes all the sense in the world to me. He said, when dribbling the ball, someone told him, you have to hear a song in your head. And he goes, that's when I started hearing I think the song was called Sweet Carolina Brown.
Sweet Georgia Brown?
Sweet Georgia Brown.
That's the Harlem Globetrotters song.
Harlem Globe. Do you see this? Do you see? I know a lot of y'all give Andy shit. This hunky different. He told me about a song I should have known, and I'm fucking up the name. But anyway, he said, you hear that song in your head, and as you're hearing it, that's how you're dribbling. And this is me having a pat on the back moment, not me personally, but for my race. When they showed at the end of New York City Point Guards how the impact that New York City, the flavor, the point guards, the swagger, it had not on just basketball, but the world. And then they cut to footage of kids in China moving like God, Sham God. And I just, as a dude who will at the same time thrash my people and go, born niggas. And speaking of which, let me put this to some, we're here in San Diego and there's a one club spot that closes till 4 while everything closes till 2. The first night I was there was last night, Friday. I didn't stay till 4, I stayed till 3. I was gonna do the same thing again that I did on Friday, last night, Saturday. So I'm sitting there, it's fucking, 2:30. The shit didn't even make it to 3. They had to shut the place down because 5 fights broke out at once. And this is a nigga spot. 5 fights. So Chris Rock, I love black people. I hate niggas. Sometimes my people do shit that make me sick and embarrass me. But then there's the other side. And I'm looking at this basketball shit and I'm going, that's us. That's me. Those are my people affecting the world, the influence. Niggas are beautiful, man. We fucked up, but we beautiful. And it's like, to have that kind of impact on the world, and you know, New York, Timbs, boots, hats fitted. Gods, man. We gods, son. And it was a proud moment because I'm like, that's the beauty of our culture. And if we take that away, a lot of America be bored as a motherfucker. What would they do without us? We are the hot sauce to life, nigga. I loved it.
Chest pass, bounce pass. That's what it would be.
There we go.
Just because you said that, though, and you shut out those Tim things. Last night, that line, when that girl yelled out to you.
Oh, what did she yell out?
Strong Island.
Strong Island, nigga. Here in San Diego, there was a broad that said something. I said, where you from? She said, Strong Island. I was like, oh, that's a New York City bitch. I said, she'll fuck a nigga with a dress and Tim's on, nigga. Give me that dick, son. That's my people too, nigga.
Dude, I was dying when you were doing that last night.
Yeah. That's it, man.
That's the show.
That's the show, man.
All right. Listen, I'll give you a few dates real quick. Of course, I just lost my part right there. We're going to be, I know we're in Chicago. We're in Schaumburg.
Chicago.
You're listening to this hopefully on around the 10th and on Thursday through the 11th through Sunday the 14th of August. We're going to be at the Chicago Improv in Schaumburg. Not in Chicago, but still the Chicago Improv. And then the 18th to the 20th of August, we're going to be, that's Thursday through Saturday, we'll be at the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Then we're going to take a week off because we earned it. And we're going to be in Cap City in Austin on the 1st of September through the 4th of September. That is Thursday through Sunday. And Cap City is the relaunch of Cap City Comedy, now by the good people at Helium. So we're looking forward to that one. It's brand new for us. The Addison Improv in Dallas, the 8th through the 11th of September. That's the Thursday through Sunday, 8th through 11th, Addison Improv. That's the one next to the Dueling Piano Bar.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a cool spot. And then the following week, 16th through the 18th, that's a Friday through Sunday. We're going to be at Spokane Comedy Club. Followed by Raleigh, the 22nd to the 25th. That's the Thursday through the Sunday, September 22nd to the 25th, Raleigh Improv, and which is actually in Cary.
Cary,
Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that's where we are. Then at the end of the month, we'll end up, end of the month and beginning of October, we'll be at Levity Live. And we'll mention that more as we get closer. Levity Live out in West Nyack. Yeah.
West Nyack, yeah.
Yeah.
If last Thursday's email, we played Steve's Kind of Music, as y'all wanted to know Steve.
Steve's Kind of Music. That's Steve, too.
That's Steve. So as a continuation, this time, we're going to have Steve play his actual band. He played a song by some, what do you call it? Heavy, but not heavy metal. Was it rock metal? What they call that shit?
It's heavy metal, I think.
Headache metal. Yeah, he played what he listened to. Now I want you guys to actually hear Steve. So Steve, play yourself, plug yourself. There it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit SpearsburgPod.com.